Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So this is Chaurashtakam. It's also called as Purushashtakam. Okay, so this is what we sing in this particular month, Purushottam month. That is going to end on August 16th. All right, July 18th to August 16th is celebrated as Purushottam month. Comes once in 3 years, very, very special. And like I said, every time you chant or any kind of devotional service you offer, it's multiplied by 1,000 times. So one round of chanting is equal to 1,000 times of chanting. All right, so that is the effect we are going to get, or that is the benefit we will be getting. So it's very, very important to observe this particular month, right? And this the basic, the very basic is to chant and attending Brahma Muhurtam Mangalarati. That is very important. If you can't, simply chant and sing this. This is Chaurashtakam, very, very favorite, for Krishna. So here so mostly we worship in this month, we worship Radha Krishna. All right. And in the evening, we offer ghee lamp aarti to Krishna, Radha Krishna. And during offering ghee lamp aarti to Radha Krishna, we sing this. Okay, Chaurashtakam. It's so beautiful. The meaning is so beautiful. I would suggest you all to, learn this and sing this every day, at least till August 16th. Okay, let's begin. Braje prasidam navanitacharam gopangananam chadukulacharam aneka janmajita papacharam chauragraganyam purusham namami. Braje prasidam navanitacharam gopangananam chadukulacharam Aneka janmachita papacharam chauragraganyam purusham namami. Shri Radhikaya hridayasya choram navambuddha shyamala kanti choram padashritanam cha samasta choram chauragraganyam purusham namami. Akinchani kritiya padashritam ya karoti bhikshum patigehahinam kenapi aho bhishana choraidrik drishtashruto vana jagatprayeapi yadiyanamapi harati ashesham giri prasaranapi paparashin Ashurya rupo nano choraidre drishta shruto vanamaya kadapi dhanam cha malam cha tatendriyani pranam shahitva mama sarvameva palayase kutro drito adaya tvam bhakti dhamnasi maya niruddha Chinatsi ghoram yamapashabandham Bhinatsi bhimam bhavapashahinam Chinatsi sarvasya Devatmano Bhakta Kritam Subandham Mani Manase Tamasarashi Ghore Karagrihe Dukkha Maya Nibhadam Labhasvahe Chorahare Chiraya Vachaurya Doshochitam Eva Dandam Braje Prasidam Navanitacharam Gopangananam Chadukulacharam Anika Janmajita Papacharam Choragraganyam Purusham Namami Karagrahe Vasa Sada Hridaye Madiye Madbhakti Pashidradam Shalasa Tvam Krishna He Pralaya Koti Shatantare Api Sarvasya Chora Hridayannahi Chayami Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare. Translation. So translation is very important. Please try and pay attention. It's very beautiful. So Krishna is described as a chore over here. Okay, it's Chaurashtakam, right? The 8 verses describing how big thief Krishna is. So what does he steal? So we just know he steals butter, right? There are a lot of other things he steals. So I offer pranam to that foremost of thieves who is famous in Braja as butter thief and who also steals the gopis' clothes and who, for those who take shelter of him, steals the sins which have accrued for many lifetimes. So I offer pranam to the foremost of thieves, who steals Srimati Radhika's heart, who steals the dark luster of fresh rain cloud, and who steals all the sins and sufferings of those who take shelter at his feet. He turns his surrendered devotees into paupers, in wandering homeless beggars. So see, look at this. He turns his devotees into paupers and homeless beggars. Such a fearsome thief has never been seen or heard of in all 3 worlds. Why does he do that? He turns all of his devotees into wanderers and paupers and homeless beggars because Krishna wants his devotees to completely depend on him and nothing else. Nobody else. Not on job, not on money, not on wealth, not on property. He wants all of us devotees to depend only on him. Only on him. That's why, he takes away everything we have with us. And then mere utterance of his name purges one of a mountain of sins. Such an astonishingly wonderful thief I have never seen or heard of anywhere. O thief, having stolen my wealth, my honor, my senses, my life, my everything, where can you run to? I have caught you with the rope of my devotion. See how beautiful it is. You cut the terrible news of Yamaraj. You sever the dreadful news of material existence, and you slash everyone's material bondage. But you are unable to cut the knot fastened by your own loving devotees. So devotion is very strong. It was only with devotion that Yashoda Mata could tie up Krishna. It was not with the rope that she tied up Krishna. It was with the rope called devotion that she could tie up Krishna. Okay, it's otherwise he's Mukunda. He's the liberator of the whole world. He cannot become tied up or bound in somebody else's control. All right, it's only by devotion. Love is what he wants, nothing else. Only love, and love is called as devotion. Okay. O stealer of my everything, O thief, today I have imprisoned you in the miserable prison house of my heart, which is very fearful due to the terrible darkness of my ignorance. Are there for a very long time, you will remain receiving appropriate punishment for your crimes of thievery. So cute, right? So beautifully. So the author is saying, I have locked you in the prison house of my heart. because you've stolen my heart. Because of all your thievery, I have locked you in my heart, and I'm not going to let you out. Right? Why do we conduct Ratha Yatra? It's to pull Krishna and Jagannath and put him into our hearts, and not and lock him there and make him stay permanently there. Right? That is the whole essence of conducting Ratha Yatra. And this author is also saying the same thing. I have imprisoned you in my heart. So beautiful, right? And oh Krishna, thief of my everything, the news of my devotion remaining forever tight, you will continue to reside in the prison house of my heart, because I will not release you for millions of aeons. Right? I'm not going to release you. That is what, we got to be. We are not supposed to release Krishna. So even in Bhagavatam, it is said, when you recite Bhagavatam every day, Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam, right? When you recite regularly, what happens? Krishna comes and sees, oh, who is this chanting, reciting Bhagavatam every day, right? He enters our house to see who is chanting. And finally, I mean, reciting. And then finally, he will enter the person who is actually reciting Bhagavatam every day. And once he enters, you are going to lock him, right? Lock him inside your heart, and he has no way to go out. He has no way to go out. So beautifully written in Bhagavatam. So this is another way, chanting this Ashtakam helps us develop that intense attachment with Krishna, and helps us not leave him. It helps us capture him forever. That is what we all want, right? Tribhangi Lalita. Krishna's form is Tribhanga Lalita. That means it is three places it is bent, right? Three places it is bent. First of all, crisscross legs. He never stands attention position. He crosses his legs, right? That is first place where his body is bent. Next is his waist, right? He doesn't stand straight. He bends. And then next is his neck. He holds the flute and bends his neck, right? So Tribhanga Lalita, right? So three places his body is bent. Why? If a stick is straight, you can put it inside a bottle with very narrow mouth very easily, right? But if a stick is crooked, it's so difficult to put it inside a bottle, right? With a very narrowed mouth. So difficult, it doesn't enter. You have to do all kind of gymnastics to put it inside your heart. I mean, inside the bottle, right? Same way, Krishna is crooked. He doesn't stand straight. If he stands straight, it's very easy to put him into our heart. But he's crooked. It's difficult to put him into our heart. But once you put him into your heart, it's impossible to bring him out, right? Once you put that cricket stick inside that narrowed mouth, a narrowed bottle, it's very difficult to bring that stick out. Same way, right? So our challenge ends is it's only till the time we try to put him inside our heart. Once he enters our heart, done. He never goes out, even if we want him to go out. All right. So, yes, all acharyas through their songs. That's why we sing Vaishnava bhajan. Very important. Vaishnava bhajan should be a part of our spiritual etiquette. Every day, like how we chant, make Vaishnava bhajan also a part of it, because in simple words, all this transcendental knowledge is given to us in simple, folk songs, right? These are all songs which are the lyrics are like in Bengali, right? In Bengali, like how people talk, the same lyrics are there. It's not in standard high level language or anything. But if you have to sit and read Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, those take a lot of time. But you can just listen to these songs, read the translation, and the same knowledge you get here, right? So it's a very effective way. So I would recommend all of you to listen to Vaishnava bhajans and read the translation. Translation is more important. Without meaning, it's not recommended. Okay. So Jiva Goswami, last class we learned about Sanatan Goswami, and today's class we will be learning about Jiva Goswami. Anybody knows how is Jiva Goswami related to Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami? Anybody knows? And first of all, tell me, how is Rupa Goswami related to Sanatan Goswami? Who can tell me? You can put your answers in the chat also. How is Rupa Goswami related to Sanat? Brothers. Very good. Haribol, yeah. So they both are brothers, Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami, and Jiva Goswami is the nephew of Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami. So basically, Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami has one more brother. I have one more brother. There are three brothers in total. So the other brother's name Anupama. So his son is Jiva Goswami. So they are nephew. He is a nephew to Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Okay. And Rupa Goswami is the spiritual master of Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami is almost like nephew, right? So he considers, I mean, he accepts Rupa Goswami to be his spiritual master. And yeah, so Jiva Goswami took up the worship of deities, Sri Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna here means Balram and Krishna. Okay, right from his childhood, he used to worship Balram and Krishna. Does anybody of you know which other person used to worship deities right from their childhood, like toy deities? Who used to worship? We did this. Who used to worship deities right from their childhood? Nobody knows? You can put your answer in the chat also. Nobody knows Prabhupada. Prabhupada used to worship deities right from his childhood. So he had got, yeah. So he had got small toy deities. Radha Krishna, his father had got him, and he used to dress them up. I mean, bathe them, dress them up, feed them, bhoga, and then put them to sleep in the night. So he used to take care of them like his own children, and that's how he grew up. Same way, Jiva Goswami also used to worship, um, deities, Krishna Balram, and from his very childhood, Jiva Goswami was greatly fond of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so he was very fond of Srimad Bhagavatam, and he used to worship Krishna Balram, and he used to read Srimad Bhagavatam right from his childhood. So bhakti, needs to develop from the childhood. When it develops from the childhood, it becomes stronger. Okay, just that it becomes stronger. The foundations become strong, the roots become strong. Okay, but at any age, there is no age limit for offering devotional service to the Lord. But when it develops in the childhood, it becomes stronger. Okay, and later his father left the body, so now his father is not there. Anupama is not there. So that's why what happens? Jiva Goswami goes to Navadvip and studies Sanskrit there. Okay, so he joins a Sanskrit school to study Sanskrit, and then he meets Nityananda Prabhu. I'm so sorry, I got disconnected. Um, One moment. Can you make me the host, Prabhuji? Yeah. Okay, so the guru is always like a helmsman. So what does he do? So this entire earth, no, the samsar or the material existence is compared, Bhavasagar, right? It's compared to ocean or very turbulent sea. All right. And the body that we have is compared to a boat. Okay. And we are travelers sitting in the boat, the soul. Okay. We are souls, right? And the boatman is compared to Guru. Gurudev is the helmsman. So he is going to help us safely sail across this turbulent sea and reach the shore. Shore of what? Krishna consciousness. Shore of what? Krishna's lotus feet. All right. So that's why they are boatmen. Without boatmen, can you sail through this turbulent sea? It's impossible, right? It's impossible. It's only with a proper experienced person can we sail across the ocean, right? And they are gurus. So it's very important to have guru in our life, because otherwise it's impossible, right? And also acharya, a devotee association. Unless a devotee comes in, unless we get in touch with a devotee, we cannot get Krishna Bhakti. It's impossible. We luckily got in touch with Prabhupada's books, and that's why we are here today. Otherwise, our life would be just like any other materialist person's life, right? So, sadhu sanga sarva shastra khoy, lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoy. Lava matra, fraction of a second is enough, and for us to get bhakti, right? That's why even Jiva Goswami was on the scholarly line. He went to learn Sanskrit, nothing to do with devotional service to the Lord. The moment he met Nityananda Prabhu, that's when that scholarly attitude turned into devotion, attitude of servitorship, right? Until then, he wanted to become a scholar in Sanskrit, not a devotee, right? So it's only with Guru's mercy we become devotees. After visiting Navadvip Dham, he went to Benares to study Sanskrit under Madhusudana Vachaspati. So Madhusudana Vachaspati teaches him Sanskrit. After finishing his studies in Benares, he went to Vrindavan and took shelter of his uncles, Sri Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. So now he's learned Sanskrit, he finished learning, so he goes back to Vrindavan and takes shelter of whom? Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. He's a nephew, right? So these two uncles teach him, initiate him, and take him through Krishna consciousness. So this is described in Bhakti Ratnakara. This is the book. If you want to refer more details, you can refer this book, okay? And after the disappearance of Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami in Vrindavan, Srila Jiva Goswami became the Acharya of all the Vaishnavas in Bengal, Orissa, and rest of the world. And it is he who used to guide them in their devotion service. All right, so it's very important, right? Like we already said, we already saw Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. How elevated are they, right? The Rupa Goswami, in fact, is the most prominent Acharya. Among these prominent, 6 Shad Goswamis, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami are considered prominent, right? So he got education or training, devotional training from such pearls and jewels, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, 2 prominent Acharyas. He took Diksha from them. They became his spiritual masters, right? And so obviously we can understand how scholarly or how experienced devotee Jiva Goswami can become, having been trained under them. So after the disappearance of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, he started taking the lead. Okay, he became the Vaishnava Acharya or the greatest Vaishnava, guiding all other Vaishnavas in Bengal and Orissa, and also rest of the world, right? And he used to guide them. He used to guide them in all the devotees in their devotional endeavors. Okay, so disciplic succession is important. Where is the source coming from? Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. All the knowledge Jiva Goswami has is coming from Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, right? So disciplic succession is important. Who is the guru? Which parampara does the guru belong to? Is he conveying the right knowledge, right? Because transcendental knowledge, this devotional service, Vedic knowledge, these are all transcendental to the material world. All right, our material senses and material logic cannot perceive transcendental knowledge which does not belong to this world. Okay, something which does not belong to this world, we cannot perceive through our material senses, right? Like Prabhupada gives an analogy. If you want to know who is your father, you need to ask your mother, right? Mother is the only person who can tell you who is your father, right? The correct answer only a mother can give you, right? So gurus, acharyas are like mother. If you want Krishna, who is our eternal father, you need to ask acharyas. Only they can guide you. Because Krishna or anything related to spirituality, anything related to Vedas, Vedic knowledge, does not belong to this world. It is out of our control. Like if you will not know who your father is, right? When you are born, your mother needs to tell you this is your father, right? Same way, which some things are out of our control. We will not know. We will have no idea about it. And to understand that, we need a guru. We need to hear from the right bona fide source. That is called Shabda Praman. All right. These transcendental knowledge, Vedic knowledge cannot be experimentally done or acquired. You cannot do experiments and say, okay, yeah, now I got result, I will understand. How many experiments will you do? And how long will you experiment? Right? It's impossible. And some people say, okay, I don't believe in God. If I see God, I will believe. Right? So, some people say, right, I will. If I see God, I will believe. See, sun rises and sets. Right? It sets when the sun sets in the evening. In the night, there is no sun. Doesn't mean that sun is not there at all. Sun is there. It's just that the earth is revolving, right? Sun is still there. Sun doesn't go anywhere. Yes, just that you cannot see. Just because you cannot see the sun in the night doesn't mean sun is only not there. Americans are seeing the sun when we are seeing the moon, right? So it's not that sun has gone away. So direct perception will again not give you proper answer. It's only by hearing from the authority who has already seen the truth. Jnaninas tattva darshinaha. Right? Only when you listen from such acharyas, these acharyas are directly from Goloka. They are not from this world. So they've already seen the truth. And we are hearing from them. So Jiva Goswami has heard from Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Disciplic succession is important. And when he is guiding others, he guides them with the right knowledge and all of them get the right knowledge. All right? Like how Prabhupada is guiding us and we are acquiring the right knowledge. Right? Same way. And in Vrindavan, he established Radha Damodar temple. Okay, so Radha Damodar temple was where Prabhupada, when he resided in Vrindavan, he used to stay in Radha Damodar temple. Even if you go today to Vrindavan, if you visit Radha Damodar temple, you can see Prabhupada's, bed, his the cushion where he used to sit, the table, small desk that he had to write the books, translate Bhagavatam and all that. Right, you will see his house, a small setup there. It is still being preserved. It's maintained by ISKCON. Even Jiva Goswami's Samadhi is there in Radha Damodar temple. All right. So he's such a scholarly personality, giving us Gyan. Okay. Yeah. So there's a nice pastime here. So the person you're seeing here is Jiva Goswami. So he, like we all know, the tasks all the Shad Goswamis had was to write scriptures, right? So he's sitting and writing scriptures here. Now, once what happened, a Vaishnava, he's a senior Vaishnava to compare to Jiva Goswami. He's called Vallabhacharya. Okay, he criticized Rupa Goswami's scripture, okay, writing. So he became a critic and criticized Rupa Goswami's writing. But Jiva Goswami's guru, I mean Rupa Goswami is Jiva Goswami's guru, right? So Jiva Goswami could not tolerate it. How can you comment on my guru? That was the attitude he had. So what he did, he became defensive and he started defending against this Vallabhacharya in the favor of Rupa Goswami. All right. So this is not an ideal quality of a Vaishnava. And this is not an ideal quality. A Vaishnava should always be what? Tolerant. There are certain qualities that, make a Vaishnava a Vaishnava. Okay. So what are those? So Vaishnava needs to be tolerant. Titikshavaha. Always he needs to be tolerant. Anybody comes and provokes you, you shouldn't get provoked. Okay. Here, Vallabhacharya, maybe genuinely he wanted to comment on Rupa Goswami's writing. Right? Jiva Goswami as a Vaishnava had to be tolerant. Okay. So that is the first quality, titikshavaha. Then karunikaha. Vaishnava needs to be merciful to other Vaishnavas. Okay. Vallabhacharya is also Vaishnava. Okay. So we need to be merciful not only to Vaishnavas, to every living entity. All right. As a Vaishnava, it's a responsibility, it's a duty. Right. Karunikaha. Then suhrida sarva dehina. We need to be a friend to all living entities. We shouldn't become envious. Here, Jiva Goswami started becoming envious of Vallabhacharya, right? How can you comment on my guru? That shouldn't be the attitude. Okay. And then Ajata Shatrava. He should not have any enemies in this world. Okay. He should be inimical. No enemies at all. But Jiva Goswami is trying to build enmity with Vallabhacharya here, right? And Shanta. He should be peaceful. But here he's inviting quarrel, right? So these are the qualities. These are called Sadhava, Sadhu Bhushana. Bhushana means ornaments. I mean, these qualities ornament a Vaishnava, make Vaishnava. All right. These are the qualities that a Vaishnava should ideally possess. These 6 qualities, right? Titikshavah, Karunikaha, Suhrita Sarvadehina, Majata Shatruva, Shanta. Okay. Unfortunately, Jiva Goswami failed to depict these qualities at that particular time. Why? Why? Not because Jiva Goswami was a neophyte devotee like us. He's Manjari from Goloka. It's because Rupa Goswami wanted to show all of us, we people, normal, common people, through Jiva Goswami, the qualities of a Vaishnava, what a Vaishnava should do, how a Vaishnava should behave. Okay, so Jiva Goswami is a Vaishnava, he's directly from Goloka, he's a Manjari. So through him, Rupa Goswami wanted to show this to all of us. All right. So because he started, annoying Vallabhacharya, picking a quarrel with him, what did Rupa Goswami do? He got angry and he said, Jiva Goswami, you need to go to the forest. Okay, I am, he scolded him and he sent him to the forest and leave Vrindavan completely. So he went and sat in Nandi Ghat. Okay, and then what did he do there? He began fasting. So it's such a severe austerity he took up. Okay, he began fasting. He subsisted on wheat flour, which is begged and mixed with Yamuna water. So the raw flour, he used to mix it with Yamuna water and just consume it just for survival sake. Okay. Such a severe tapasya, austerity he took up, and he did it for days. Okay. And Sanatan Goswami saw all this, and he came and he, spoke to Jiva Goswami to stop all this and brought him back to Vrindavan. All right. To serve Rupa Goswami again. All right. So it is for us that this pastime has happened. Okay, patience is very important. Lot of unnecessary things happen in a moment's time. Okay, just because we lose patience. It's called vegam, right? The urge, manasa vegam, vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. There are 6 types of vegas, right? Urges. That is momentary. And that moment, if you just control that urge, after that everything will come back to normal. The situation comes back to normal, but we fail to control in that moment. Okay, we just want to burst out, right? That is where the problem comes. All right. And Srila Prabhupada once commented that it was not done to teach or punish Jiva Goswami, who is perfectly liberated, eternal associate of the Lord. One moment. Okay, so Rupa Goswami sent Jiva Goswami out of Vrindavan to teach all Jivas that he wrote in Upadeshamrita. So in Upadeshamrita, we get this text, okay. Vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiha vegam, udarapasta vegam, etan vegam vishaheta dira, sarvam apimam prithvim sa shishyat. Okay, if you can control vacho vegam, urge to talk momentarily. Manasa krodha vegam, manasa urge of the mind. Okay, thinking bad things. That is also momentarily. For that moment, according to that situation, you want to do that. Okay. So if you can control that in that moment, everything comes back to normal after some time, after that second. But no, momentarily we want to show it out, right? This is called vegam, urge. We need to control that. Krodha vegam, anger. Okay. Anger, it's just seconds. For a seconds, if we get angry, again, consequences are far reaching. Okay. For years, consequences take years to come back to normal, right? Jihva vegam, tongue. You want to eat everything you see, right? And then udropasta vegam, udra vegam, again hunger. We cannot control hunger. That's why we fail Ekadashi Vratas, right? And upasta vegam, urge of genitals, sex desire. So these things need to be controlled. Okay, this is called mind and controlling senses. In Nectar of Instruction, Prabhupada writes in his purport, one's first duty in all spiritual affairs is to control mind and senses. Okay, it's like to attend say degree, you need your 12th standard certificate, right? That is the basic requirement. Your 12th standard certificate is the basic requirement to get into degree, right? Same way, the very basic requirement for a devotee to step into or continue in devotional service or Krishna consciousness is intention to control mind and senses. Whether we control or not, that is secondary. We need to make up our mind to control our mind and senses. That is the intention we got to have. That is the basic duty, first duty of all spiritual affairs. All right. So that's why mind control is very, very important, and that is the reason we chant. Chanting is called mantra meditation, right? It's mantra meditation. Meditation means controlling the mind, right? So through chanting, through the mantra, we try to control the mind, right? And yeah, so Jiva Goswami was still, when Jiva Goswami was still present, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami compiled the famous Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it's Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami who is the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Under the supervision of Jiva Goswami, he compiles this Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. And later on, Jiva Goswami inspired Srinivasa Acharya, Narottam Das, and Dukhi Krishna Das to preach Krishna consciousness in Bengal. These are called triplets. Okay. Three very inspiring personalities, Srinivasa Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Dukhi Krishna Das. So these three personalities take up, Krishna consciousness and spread it rigorously in Bengal. Okay, after Jiva Goswami. So Jiva Goswami is giving them the inspiration. All right, we will be learning about each of these acharyas, very prominent acharyas and interesting stories. Okay, why Dukhi Krishnadas became Shyamananda. So the Dukhi means what? Sadness, right? He became Ananda, happiness, Shyamananda. So who gave that name? How did he get that name? He went and met Radharani. So many beautiful pastimes are there. We will be doing all of this. All right, so Jiva Goswami, this is a very nice pastimes again. So what happened? See, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, all the Goswamis, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, Gopal Bhatt Goswami, they used to write scriptures, right? So they had written and compiled bundles and bundles of scriptures. All right. So manuscripts they are. They need to be, refined, printed, circulated, lot of things, right? They need to be made into copies. Not about writing and keeping. People should read them, right? So the access needs to be there, right? So a lot of work is remaining. So once what happened, Janava Devi, that is Nityananda Prabhu's wife, comes to Jiva Goswami's place, okay, Vrindavan. So after that, upon her, they discuss, and then they finally come to this conclusion that these manuscripts need to be, taken to Bengal so that they can be used for preaching purposes. They can be made into copies and circulated, right? So now they should be sent to Bengal, because in Vrindavan these facilities are not there. So Bengal is the right place. So what happens? Jiva Goswami gives these three acharyas, okay, Srinivasa Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Dukhi Krishna Das, the responsibility to take these manuscripts safely to Bengal. Okay, so they need to take it to Bengal. So what do? They put it in a cart, okay, and they go to Bengal. All right. So they reached there. They just reached Bengal in one particular area. They rest, okay, in the night. They will be resting there, and the in that area, the king himself is a thief. Okay, look at the irony. The king himself is a thief, and he goes in the night with his gang and robs things from travelers and other people there in his own kingdom. All right, and to add to this, he also consults astrologers, for the right day or a benefiting day or muhurtam to rob. Okay, he's that kind of a king. And astrologers also support. They say, okay, you need to go this place today, this day, this place, from this area you need to rob, and it's going to be profitable for you. Okay, so that way they guide him. So this at that day, these people were resting. These three people, manuscripts were also safely kept there. And what happened? This king came with his gang and robbed the manuscripts and went. Okay. Then they wake up in the morning, they see there are no manuscripts around. So they become very worried. All right. They are like, what happened? What happened to the manuscripts? Right. They become very worried because it is a treasure for Vaishnavas, right? Our Krishna consciousness movement is running on these scriptures, right? The rules and regulations we follow are all from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, written by Rupa Goswami. And Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is again inspired by Hari Bhakti Vilas and Hari Bhakti Sudodaya and so many other scriptures written by Sanatan Goswami and all other Goswamis. The scriptures are like foundation, it's basis, without which our devotional service will not last, right? It's a treasure. Without that, nothing works for Vaishnavas, for devotees. So it's very important. They started crying and they started searching, right? So now Srinivas Acharya says, writes a letter to Jiva Goswami informing that manuscripts were lost. All right. And then, so what happens now? The king takes the manuscripts, goes and keeps it in his kingdom, okay, in his palace. Now, the king has kept it in his palace. Now, these people start searching. The three acharyas, Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Dukhi Krishnadas, they keep searching for the manuscripts, okay, all around the area. The area is called Vishnupura, all right. And now, but they are plundered. They are not getting it anywhere. Right now, Srinivas, now another development happens. Srinivas Acharya, what happens to him? He goes into the dream of the king. Okay. So the king gets a dream where Srinivas Acharya goes and says, one moment, let me open the document for you all. So basically, Srinivas Acharya says, you have stolen something very precious and you have kept it in your palace. You know what? This is going to give you a lot of glory, for stealing these priceless treasures. You will be given a lot of glory and you will be. One moment, let me share the screen. Yeah, so here you can see. Yeah, so you have stolen something very precious and you've kept it in your palace. And tomorrow very soon I will come and meet you and I will retrieve those manuscripts that you've stolen. And in return, what will you get? You will get joy, with the joy which is boundless. Okay, you will get joy which is boundless. He says, Srinivas Acharya says to the king. Okay, and after that, what happens? You will become my eternal servant. And that is what Srinivas Acharya says in the dream. All right. And then they keep searching. So here and there, Bhagavatam classes will be going on in that city. Okay. And the irony is, the gurus who explained Bhagavatam there had not understood Bhagavatam at all. Okay. They are just interpreting the way they want to. So Srinivas Acharya comes and comments on Bhagavatam and, takes a lead and starts, correcting them and properly, doing the commentary on Bhagavatam with saneness, okay, erudition, knowledge, and love for Krishna. And then what happened? Following day, Srinivas Acharya after he speaks Bhagavatam, the next day, the king gets astonished. He's like, I heard so far nobody came to my kingdom and showed this level of, scholarly abilities. So I fall to your feet. I surrender to you, because of your knowledge. Please accept my obeisances. So the king is fallen to the feet of Srinivasa Acharya. All right. And then he says, please let me help you. Whatever favor you want, please let me help you. So then Srinivasa Acharya says, okay, very kind of you. Then he explains the problem, why he had come there. Okay, I came from Vrindavan. I had carried these manuscripts, all that he explains. And then he says they were stolen. Then the king says, wait, I will bring you this manuscripts. Okay, so he goes inside, gets the manuscripts and says, are these the ones that that got stolen? And then he reads, he sees Rupa Goswami's signature there. Okay, and then he understands what a big mistake he had done, right? Because Rupa Goswami, all the Goswami signature, he says. And then he reads and then he understands these are all transcendental scriptures. Okay, such a divine treasure he had stolen, right? But then he understands his mistake, falls to the feet of Srinivasa Acharya. Then Srinivasa Acharya initiates the king, his family, his wife, his son, everybody he initiates. Okay, they become staunch devotees, and that place, Vishnupura, becomes a center for Vaishnava culture. It's called Vaishnava Center in Bengal. Jiva Goswami's dream, that was the mission he sent these three acharyas for, right? You need to establish this, through these books, through these scriptures, we need to enhance our preaching activity and circulate it more and more, right? So now Vishnupura has become an established Vaishnava center. So this king who is now initiated takes up the movement forward, and in his entire kingdom, he spreads Krishna consciousness rigorously. All right, so mission accomplished. Right, so something good happened. Even if the manuscripts were stolen, something good happened. No, it reached the right hands, and now see, it's in Vishnupura. Vishnupura has become a complete Vaishnava center, right? And yeah, that is one very nice pastime we all supposed to know. And then when Jiva Goswami was alive, Srimati Janava Devi, pleasure potency of Nityananda Prabhu. Yeah, so Nityananda Prabhu's wife's name is Janava Devi. Okay, used to visit Vrindavan. And Jiva Goswami, one good thing is Jiva Goswami used to feed sumptuously and give shelter to any Gaudiya Vaishnavas or any Vaishnavas who used to be residents in Bengal, who used to come there for some time to Vrindavan. He used to feed them and give them shelter also, free residence and prasadam. So he made sure, right? And then his disciple Krishnadasa Adhikari listed all the books of Goswami, Goswamis in his diary. And in Gaura Gunodesha Deepika, it is confirmed that Srila Jiva Goswami is Vilasa Manjari from Goloka. Okay, so Vilasa Manjari, she is again a Manjari, Gopi in Goloka. So she has come down in the form of Jiva Goswami. These are some of the books he has written: Harinamamrita, Vyakarna, Sutra Malika, Dhatu Sangraha, Krishnarcha Deepika, Gopala Vrindavali, Rasamrita Shesha, Sri Madhava Mahotsava, Sri Sankalpa Kalpa Vriksha, Bhagavarta Bhavartha Shuchaka Champu, Gopala Tapani Tika, commentary on Brahma Samhita, commentary on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, commentary on Ujjvala Nilamani, commentary on Yoga Sarastava, commentary on Gayatri Mantra, description of Lord's lotus feet derived from Padma Purana, description of Lord's lotus feet, lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, okay, Gopala Champu, and he has also written 7 Sandarbha: Karma, Tattva, Bhagavat, Paramatma, Krishna, Bhakti, and Preeti Sandarbha. Okay, so much of books he's written, so many books he's written. All right, so we come to an end. So today's topic is mostly about mind control, right? We stressed on that. So I would just end the class with a nice story here. So once what happened, there was a small guy, okay? He was a small boy. So he was playing outside near the shore of an ocean. So there was a bottle, a glass bottle, all right. So he went, he took it. He's a small boy, he doesn't know what it is. He takes it and then opens it. The moment he opens it, genie comes out. So, right, okay, we all know genie, right? The genie comes out from the bottle, and then the genie is very hyperactive, always ready to do some kind of an activity, right? So now the genie says, okay, you released me from the bottle, so you are my master, to the small guy. And he says, whatever you do, whatever you ask me to do, I will do it. Okay, I'm always there for your service. So tell me what you want me to do. And so the boy keeps on giving this genie tasks. Okay, you go do that, go get this. Takes him home, says, you need to wash the utensils, you need to cook, you need to do that, you need to go do this. Genie does everything, hyperactive. And the genie completes tasks in like fraction of seconds. Okay, so the finishes the task, again comes back and irritates this small boy. Okay, I'm done with the task, give me my next task. The genie can never sit without work. Okay, always, it can never be inactive. So now the boy becomes saturated. How many tasks will I give this genie? If the genie completes and again comes back to me, what will I do? And so what does the boy say? You shows a wall and says, you go up the wall and come down the wall. Go up, come down. Go up, come down. Keep doing this until I give you your next task. Okay, so the genie continues to do that. Goes up, comes down. Goes up, comes down. Somehow the boy wants to engage this genie. If the genie is not engaged in any work, then the genie is going to eat this boy up. Okay, so that is how genie is, right? If genie is kept inactive, what does it do? It goes and eats the master only. All right. So now the boy is very concerned. So gives the genie this task: go up the wall, come down the wall. All right. So our mind is no different. Our mind is exactly like this genie. All right. Our mind cannot be thoughtless, actionless, right? Always thinks of something or the other, right? There is not even a second or fraction of a second where you can say, my mind is calm now. No thoughts at all. That means your brain is dead. Only when the brain is dead, that happens. Only when the person is dead, that happens. Prabhupada writes, right? A living entity, the symptom of living entity is only consciousness, right? So a mind cannot become actionless or thoughtless. It always has to think about something. Why not about Krishna? Why think about something else? Right? So, what do you do here? Like how the boy has given this task, no, to the genie. So you also need to give your mind tasks. Okay. Now I need to chant now. Focus only on chanting. The moment your mind goes here and there, bring it back. Okay. You need to constantly monitor, like how this boy monitored genie, right? Otherwise, the genie is going to eat him up. Same way, our mind is going to eat us up. Today, the most abominable condition we are in, no, in the most horrible condition, the material existence we are in, it's because mind is controlling us and we are not controlling our mind. Okay. The moment genie starts controlling the boy is going to be dead, right? So don't let your mind control you. You become the controller of mind. Let's become Goswamis, not Godasas. We should become controller of our senses. We should not become servant of our senses, right? So we need to engage our mind, give it some task. The only way to control mind is engaging the senses, giving yourself a task. Okay, when you do a task, your mind focuses on what you're doing. If you sit simply, your mind will not focus. Mind will think whatever your mind wants to think, right? So anyway, you need to engage your mind. Anyway, you have to do something. Anyway, you have to take up some task. Why not Krishna conscious task? Or whatever you do, why not you offer it to Krishna and do it, and so that you can make it a Krishna conscious task, right? Krishna says, yat karoshi yat dashnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tad kurushva madarpanam. Whatever you do, yat karoshi yat dashnasi, whatever you eat, yat juhosi, whatever you take, whatever you give, yat dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya, whatever austerity you're doing, whatever task you're doing, whatever responsibility you have, no, Tat kurushva madarpanam. Do it as an offering to me. That's all. Whatever you're doing, make it Krishna conscious or do a Krishna conscious activity. Okay. This is the only way we can engage our mind. Through engaging our senses, our hands, legs, our body, we can engage our mind. Don't follow the other way around. Okay. The modern science says sit and meditate, control your mind so that you can control your body. No, it is controlling the body to control your mind. Okay. That is why chanting. You need to engage your tongue and your ears, right? You chant and hear so that your mind automatically becomes controlled, right? So it is the outside in approach. All right. So on this note, we will be ending this class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Any questions? Any doubts? No questions? Okay. If no questions, we can end the class. Please attend tomorrow, next class. Okay, we will be learning about Gopal Bhatt Goswami. Again, we will be learning about how Radha Raman deity was installed in Vrindavan. Such a beautiful story. So please do attend. Thanks for joining. Vancha kalpatarubhya shakripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Yeah, any question, Krishnan Prabhu? Do you have any question? Yeah, tell me. Please unmute.
Mataji, sorry, the last fag end of the hour, I'm asking you this question.
No problem. Tell me.
Can we attend this Bhakti Sadhachar program once again from the beginning? Because I want to attempt again. Because still there are a lot of questions because it doesn't get cleared in the first go. It needs a practice, and the practice is only possible if I rewind or re-attend. I'll not be raising any questions. It's just that I just want to rewind, understand the lectures again. Probably this is available in YouTube too.
See, Prabhuji, the recordings are there on YouTube. You can follow them. When the next batch starts, I can let you know. I have no idea when the next batch is going to start anytime soon. So once it starts, I will let you know. I will put it in the group. But until then, probably you need to depend on the recordings.
No, that's fine. Would this recording be available on the YouTube? And
yes.
Can hope it will not be taken off.
No. They are going to be there. The playlist is created, right? So all the recordings will be updated there. And the playlist link is already there in the WhatsApp group description. Okay.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Okay. Any other questions? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Tell me.
Yeah, can I have the recording of this class?
It will be updated, Mataji, in the playlist. It will be all updated, and the link is already there. You can keep checking. Okay.
Oh, thank you, and a wonderful class. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Let's end then.